Hello, angels. My name is Clara, and welcome to When the Moon Rises, a feminine podcast to share stories and tools to hopefully help other beautiful women in the world. Hello, lovelies. Welcome to the first episode of When the Moon Rises. Today episode is going to be beyond a body shape. We are a body, like, wow. And most of times we don't nourish ourselves, we not give ourselves love, and we present ourselves into diets or into shapes. And I just want you to create a little moment here just to take a breath and just allowing yourself to land in this moment, even if you want to grab your favorite blanket with a cup of tea, and just having this nourishing place just to you to be. And even if something comes up during this pot, I always come back to this place in your heart that you're safe. And just notice in your body whatever sensation arrives. And then just take together a nice deep breath, fully expanding our bellies. And exhale it out. We are home. Okay. Now that we take a little breather, I would love to start to introduce our Grace. She's a beautiful body-mind coach, and she's been working already with women, helping themselves to free themselves from their bodies, find some self-love. I would like to invite you to introduce a little bit about what you are been doing.
Thank you. Thanks for this lovely invitation to come into my body and also to come into your first episode of your podcast. I'm really honored. Yeah, I'm Grace, and as you said, I'm a body mind eating coach, mainly working with women and who don't feel good in their body, who are, as you said before, so beautiful, present themselves in their bodies and with diets, with different rules, or just feeling lost or out of control when it comes to eating. And because of my own story, I really made it my mission to help and support this woman in finding this peace and freedom within their own body and with the relationship with food. And yeah, it's my vision and really my heart desire that more women can experience this freedom, because yeah, there is so much more to live life with and to experience pleasure in your body, pleasure in food, in the relationship with food, because yeah, it's nourishing and it should be nourishing. It's something that is such a beautiful thing. But yeah, with so many, and we're gonna talk about this, I guess, in the pod now. With so many different things from outside, we kind of feel present. And yeah, I'm super excited to do this podcast now with you and to talk about these so important things for me. And there can be triggering parts, which is why I really liked it how you invited us first to come into the body and to really prepare ourselves also with cozy things. I have my cacao here with me, and um, it's I'm gonna talk about my own story as well, I guess. And um, a lot of times when we share our stories, people can relate to them, and depending on where they are and their stories, it can be triggering. So also to the listeners who if you feel like there's something that's triggering you, always remind yourself, coming back into this moment, into your body, you are safe. And yeah, let's
Beautiful,
start.
yeah. Yeah, when we talk, I think when we talk about body shape, and you already start to talk a little bit about that, we uh, we kind of blame society, like society is bringing us this diet culture to put ourselves into these shapes, but in reality, if we really want to be honest, at the end of the day, it's us that we put ourselves into these boxes, and it really hurts to admit it. Like I really feel like my heart is racing. I feel myself like so sweaty just thinking about putting myself in a box. It just all our lives there is always someone that is going to say, oh, you feel you are a little bit more bloated today, no? Or you look a little bit more fatty, or are you really going to eat that? And we start to listen to this, and while you listen to that, you can even already bring the awareness to your body. How does it feel? Wow. There's any ways that it comes up to you, that shows up to you, that you feel in your body?
Yes, yeah, I feel very much drawn back to experiences I had. And
Mm.
I noticed that I mean, what you're describing is judgment. So we judge different bodies, um, as we judge everything. Like we judge food and put it in boxes of good or bad, or we say like, okay, we should look like this, we should look like that. So we judge the different bodies, um, and then when you hear this judgment, obviously, like, it's not that they put you in the box, they do by judging, but as you said before, then it's me myself who is accepting this judgment and putting it into, okay, they said I look like that, so that means I am like that, or I am not good enough, as it relates so
Mm-hmm.
often like that. And so when you were talking about this, it kicked me back in the experiences I had in my childhood. And
Mm-hmm.
I know there were a long time, these were really intense experiences. And throughout my healing journey in different therapies, I always went back to these moments because they were so deeply rooted as trauma. Um, Whereas now I can see them from a different perspective, from a healing perspective, from a healed perspective. So it's not the same emotions, but obviously, like, still there's this memory which is triggering
Mm-hmm.
the emotion.
And it is something that even it just maybe like if it is too much a certain moment, and even to anyone who's listening, you can always take a breather. Maybe like I say, like wiggle a little bit, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Whatever movement if you make you feel more comfortable. I know when we start to dig past things, it just we kind of feel it now in the belly, kind of in the stomach, and we tend to close ourselves. So just celebrate yourself that you are actually creating this moment to be a little bit more open about that. And if you will even close your eyes, and or if you feel, of course, just if you feel like, okay, I want to share a little bit about my story. If even if you have some situations, someone criticized it before, how much this impacted you and that young version of you. So you could be there for her right now. Give her voice to express.
Absolutely.
Mm.
That's something really beautiful you said, that you can now give this little version of you a voice. And that was actually one of my exercises I used for this particular moment. And I think I'm gonna just quickly explain these experiences I had, so that you can relate a little bit more from what I'm saying. So the experience I had is what I grew up in a family with 6 kids. So I have 5 siblings, and all of them were really, really thin, and I was the more chubby one. And I remember it so good, this situation where I was outside of my house, and there was a friend of my grandma visiting. I didn't even know this woman, yeah. She didn't really know me, but she was standing outside talking with my grandma, and me and my older sister would come passing by, and she looked at my older sister and saying like, "Oh, you're Ella, you're the older one." So she's called her name and saying like, "You're the older one." And then she looked at me, and obviously I know she didn't meant it like that, because she just didn't know my name. So she just said like, "You were the chubby one. You're the more chubby one," which is already like not okay to say. But so what happened in that moment was, for me as a child, life froze. Like it was freeze, and time was stopping for this moment, and I realized I have a different body. I'm chubby. I don't deserve a name. I'm not worth it. And in that moment, I had so many emotions going through my body, so much tension, so much anger, so much sadness, but I could not bring it out, because I felt like, who am I could to say something now to this old woman? Yeah. And I was really I was a more quiet girl, so I didn't want it to, like, I would never have said like, "Hey, I have a name." But that was actually something I got the chance to do years ago in my therapy, where I recalled this situation and really putting in, okay, what would I have said in this particular moment? Knowing, like imagining me, my version now, standing behind myself, holding my hands on my back and holding my back while I can express what I felt, and what I, yeah, my authentic expression. And yeah, that's really something powerful to do. And if someone has a similar experience, I really invite you to try it out, to put it into words, make yourself feel safe before, grounded, and then put into words, if either if you write it out, or if you talk it out, or if you even want to say it to someone else. It's so healing. Yeah.
I would like just to ask you, I like, if you feel comfortable with that, and back in that situation, if you can give a little bit voice to that little girl of yours,
Mm.
how she was feeling, if you could
Mm.
express.
Mm-hmm. While she was feeling very much not seen, not good enough, very vulnerable,
Hmm.
sad, but also angry, because
Okay.
what she really just wanted is like, I want to be enough, like I want to be seen. It's not okay, but still not having this consciousness like I have now. It's of course different to say, because um yeah, now of course I would have different words, or would put it more into action, what I would say, but the feelings are still like there, with the, yeah, especially with the not feeling good enough or not okay, because yeah, it was like really labeled on me, like, okay, chubby, not has a name, that's it, what
The
I'm gonna go
box.
with. Yes, yes,
The box. The
yes,
box, no?
absolutely. And I
And
really know that this woman did not had any bad intention in it, yeah, but she,
yeah.
yeah, it was just what I received, yeah.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing that you say that many times, and it happened me too before. Is like, it's not like people are, they don't mean what they are saying, but
Mm.
in that moment, the way we perceive it, the way we receive it in our hearts, it really can trigger us. And sometimes it's interesting how this works, because sometimes it's not, it triggers us because we're not something just related to us. It might be something even from our past generations, like our mother experienced before. And these all messages are also trapped in our subconscious mind. And we would talk a lot in our heads. We are just trying to rationalize everything. That's why I always like to do this exercise to us to bring to our hearts, because how we can give voice to that part of us. And I have many days, even today I did that, to close my eyes and just see what it shows up. What do I need to hear in my heart? What that sweet heart needs from me? What you talk about this exercise, so people call it inner child healing, or people call it the shadow work, to come and accept this shadow of us, this part of us that we don't accept, that we neglect us, and redefine ourselves. So even like, if you can say something right now to that little girl of us, something just super nourishing, what you would say to her? It's just to us also feel a little bit that maybe some people fail the same way. So what you would say to that little girl of yours to nourish her?
You are
You can
loved.
even close your eyes.
It just popped up. You are loved. To give this girl this feeling that she is loved, no matter how she looks, no matter, and that, and I really want to emphasize this here, that does not mean that I had a not loving relationship with my parents. I got so much love, but still, what I, of course, because of this boxing, of this judgment from outside, and then the judgment from my inner critic, which was going on, I felt like, okay, I'm not lovable because of my shape, because of my body. So I would definitely tell her that, and I'm doing that again and again. What would be something what you would say to your little child?
For me, it's interesting you ask me, because for me it was something very recent. I know it comes, I always say that healing for us, it don't have time. There is some time we feel like we solve everything, and then it cross some month, 1 year, 2 years, and something happen and it triggers. And that's why it's so important to bring that awareness, people are mirrors, and be grateful for that triggers that give us opportunity, to unwind, unfold whatever is inside. And for me, I remember I was right in the day before I was in Bali. I was right in the day before I go to Bali, to Vietnam. And I got this vivid dream of that girl and one of my painful situation of my life. And I cried some. I feel along all my body. And I felt so much her suffering, and all she needed to hear and see, it was, I see you. I know that you are suffering, and I am here for you. I am here. And I cried so much, so much, so much, so much. And I remember to be at that airport, preparing myself to go to Vietnam. And I say to my boyfriend, I want to start to talk about conscious eating, because that girl needs it. And here I am giving also voice to it. Because back then I was suffering for eating disorder, and I was 13, and it was all my way. This is come like where this come from. It was my way, I think, to control. How I explain this? My environment home was not too positive, so my way to take me out for that reality was to stop eating. It was every single trauma association I have is with food. So the table is a sacred space for me. So not eating was for me starting to protect myself to don't live that painful reality. And it was my way of saving me to take me out of home, because the doctors came and they hospitalized me because it was that I was going to die. So it was like, take me away. Was my way that my inner child found to protect me. So our inner child is, they don't mean us. They don't want to warm us. Don't want to hurt us. They just want to protect us. As in, when we are the validation seeker, when we are our in our needy version, or when we are the strong independent woman that, yeah, no one is going to hurt me anymore. All these versions of us are way too protecting. So yeah, for me it was saying, I see you, I know that you're suffering, and I'm here for you. And that just took me so much layers, so much years of trapped emotions that I needed to release. Definitely.
Wow. Wow, thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah. It's really, as you said, like the inner child or this version, it just wants to protect us. It's just a survival mechanism, a survival strategy we come up with to don't have to deal with this pain we experience, as you say, like in your home environment. and and it's so interesting how these things are, how the survival strategies are always so much different for individuals, because for you it was the stop eating. For others it might be eating more because they want to feel more, they
Exactly.
want to feel fulfilled, so they eat and they can't stop. So it really goes in different direction. That's why I always say, like, any symptom, any challenge you have with food or with body is a divine message. And this divine message is leading exactly to your survival strategies, to where you can heal. So I'm thankful for these challenges we have, because they're just pathways, guideways where you say, like, this is where you can look deeper. And yeah, it's it's a journey. It's not always
It
comfortably.
is. It is. I would like to invite us just to give a little celebration for
Yes.
our inner child. It feels so nice and nourishing. And even if you are listening, and I like, I always like to find these little moments and say, let's just celebrate that. Let's just celebrate that we give them voice and they are maybe wiggling now, happy. Yeah, I'm being seen. I'm feeling you. I think this actually when it comes for us the embodiment. No, I know that you also love a lot to dance and express. Yeah, I would
Yes.
love to hear a little bit like what tools you used, what it helped you in this journey.
So, as we said before, like, this journey is such a long journey. And I mean, no, yeah, everyone has a different journey. For me, it definitely started with yoga. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember I did yoga before. Also during in the time where I had still the eating disorder very severe. I started yoga, but more in a way to exercise. So I found it like, oh, it's challenging. It's discipline for me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the mat. So it was very much in masculine energy as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
did it not in a studio, because I was at this time I was studying in Vienna, and I just did YouTube videos. And back in this time, it was not like now that you have like this amazing. I mean, we had amazing YouTube videos, but now there's much more like really proper classes, let's say, where you have a shavasana in the end, where you have the inner work, where you meditate sometimes somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
this YouTube video. I found a YouTube video where it was really just like, okay, we start, we do the exercise, we stop. and 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 the moment I started going to therapy, I decided to go to yoga studio. I decided to, okay, I'm gonna invest into this now and go into a studio, pay the classes there and not do it at home in my living room. And I closed my eyes in the studio because the teacher asked me to do so in the beginning, and I could not keep my eyes closed. It was so painful, it was so loud, there was so much noise, it was so many, and I just started crying, needed to open my eyes, and then I realized, okay, yes, you have to do some more inner work. And then I shifted much more into yoga and saw it more into this inner work and not just the outer work. So it really started with the yoga for the embodiment with me, but it changed a lot during the last years, where I found so many more tools to really embody. And because I love music, it was very much related to dance then. So what I used to do now really often, and what I really love doing, is just putting my headphones on, putting some music on, depending which music on, depending my moods, and then just really breathing into the ground first, rooting myself, and then start moving the way it feels, the way my body leads me, and not the way I think like, oh, that must look good now if I use my hips like this, or if I do this movement like this. Because the moment you start thinking, okay, how am I moving? You're not embodying. You are thinking how a body should move and react and look like. So it's really this, yeah, and I mean, this is a tool, like, I know for many people it's difficult, especially when you feel like, oh, but people are watching me. I also close my eyes always, I have to say that. So like closing my eyes, like, go more inward. Um, and so if you want to try that out, so everyone is listening, and you feel like, no, I can't do this in a gym or in a public space, you don't have to do it in a public space. Just close your own living room and dance it out, and do the weirdest movements you can imagine. Really let yourself be guided from the music, from the rhythm, because our body is, our whole system is so rhythmical. So we have like these rhythms in our body. We have so much water in the body, and when you give water when you have a bowl of water and you give it how do you say, if you move it, the water moves. Yes, so our whole body is in this yeah, in this juice. And so that's why this embodiment practices with dancing and yeah, closing the eyes, allowing the body to move the way it wants to express, is my favorite tool to embody.
It's really the feminine energy, now, like you're talking about, you started to with this masculine side of yours, and then you try to introduce the feminine. Yeah, I kind of resonate. I feel like there is, when it comes to the feminine, so maybe we should even explain a little bit this, because some people don't know what is the masculine, the feminine. So when it comes to the feminine, I really resonate when you talk about the music, because the water and attention, because not just women have feminine energy, also men. We are like 80% water, something like this. We move, so we are even very, very sensible to the moon. So when you're talking about the feminine, it's like moving with the body and not against it. How I can work with my body, how I can express myself. For me, what the beautiful part, that I work a lot with 3 areas. So the energy healing, and have the somatics and the embodiment. And when the emotions are motion. So, and emotions are energy within our bodies. So when it comes to the feminine, how we can be more soft, how we can ease, because the masculine is the go, go, go that we also embody in our inner seasons and our menstrual cycle. No, we have the ovulation to say we are unstoppable, or no, and when we are very masculine, for me, it feels like it's a go, 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 and there is a lot of a strong energy. There's a fire that burns, it comes out. But the feminine is that the wisdom is what we find within our emotions. Is it okay today, for example, if I feel more low energy, to just drop and do a more ease class? How I can not be too rigid in my body, how I can flow with that, how I can move with joy and pleasure within my body without being too strict, no? And I think is the embodiment, as you said, it's such a beautiful way to integrate this yin and yang. Even when we embody more masculine, we even, for example, when we have rage, because this is, I think, also something that we are allowed to feel, no? How I can channel it, maybe for me, when it comes to conscious moving, I will check and feel like my body today, it feels agitated. I feel so much rage. I feel like my heart is racing. I feel like I cannot be still. I need to just burn it up. And that consciousness, that awareness, it bring me, okay, I want today an explosive class and I will want to do some boxes or some body comp, but wherever it comes up and shows up, that I feel that will make me feel good. And I think is
Yes.
where it comes the conscious moving.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I love it how you put this now, again, that rage, anger, frustration are these things. These are also emotions we're allowed to feel, but we need to challenge it, to channel it, because otherwise
So
they get stuck. And if they get stuck, that creates a lot of tension then.
even, and it can lead to impulsive eating when
Yes.
we can combine, and now we talk about that many times, that the conscious movie, the conscious
Yeah.
eating, like the conscious movie allow us to express, we feel, create a moment to tune in and say, how does it feel in my body? What do I need to nourish? How I can nourish more my body today? Do we really want too much movement, or do you need more calm? Do you need to be still? Do I need more water? What do I need to fulfill my body so I can feel good? And then it comes to food. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you work a lot with that. Maybe if you something that even resonates from your clients, you feel like it comes more frequent, that you would like to share, maybe will help others.
Yes, absolutely. There is something which just popped up in my mind while listening to you, is that a lot of times when I work with women, the main objective is that it's very hard. Like if you have and you may have experienced this as well with your eating disorder, we lose trust in ourselves. So we lose trust in our body wisdom. And so when we talk now, being that far on our journey, looking back, okay, we had this eating disorder. It's not what I defined myself with. And we go through the day with this conscious eating, conscious moving, and asking our bodies, what does it need? And then there pops this question up, there pops the answer up, and we know exactly, okay, this is what my body needs right now. This is what I want to give the body now. When you're in the beginning or in the journey of the healing process, it's what always pops up is that I don't trust my body. I don't trust my body that whatever it says, that it will be okay, or I even don't know. I have no idea. Like I ask, but I have no idea. And this is a lot when we are especially too much in our minds. Like going back to these energies, like the food industry and the fitness industry, they're pretty much masculine energy driven, and that does not mean that there are more men in there. As we said, like it's not
Yeah.
about the gender, it's just the energies. And So there are a lot of food rules. You eat this, you can do intermittent fasting, you eat that much calories, eat that much carbs, fat, protein. So it's all about the numbers and not about the feeling, not about the nourishing part of the feminine energy. So a lot of times people who are dealing with the things of of challenging around body and weight, they are a lot of times experiencing that I don't trust, I can't let go of these rules, because otherwise I would be completely out of control and I would gain super much weight again, or I would eat only the unhealthy stuff. And I recently had this conversation with a very dear client. I love working with her because we had so much progress as well, exactly about this topic. And she is on her journey already so far. She knows what her body feels. She feels more. She experiences more, but still she she has the fear that if she would just go after that, she would lose control, because that's what her brain is telling her years over years over years. If you let go of having these rules, you would go completely nuts and we would eat only shit, and you would get so fat. And so this is our brain is just telling us that. And
Mm-hmm.
And what's so important to realize then is that, hey, I'm already at a stage where I'm conscious enough and I'm feeling my body already because I know the embodiment tools. And I would not go this way, because if I would say, like, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to eat whatever, the chocolate, the chips or so, I would be able to reflect and to stop when I feel like, okay, now I am super full or now I am satisfied. But that's the important thing, like you can't like just let go of these rules without the embodiment. So they go really, the conscious eating, conscious moving, the embodiment, they go all like hand in hand, because you need to gain this trust again, this trust towards yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely relate to that. It's just, I remember to be young and I was always passionate about art. I did an art therapy course. It was my way of expression when I was little. And I draw something to my mom to make her understand what was going on. And I draw this little girl in front of a mirror. And it was other girl in a mirror, and she was dark. I never forget this. And I wrote everything in the mirror, what she was saying. Because when it comes to eating disorder, uh, at least what happened to me, what was suffering for me, even if I want to be free, and I saw how much impact it had in the people around me, especially in my mom. My mom suffered with me. Was to try to make understanding. I want to eat this with you. I want to do this with you, but my head, I have a voice constantly saying and whispering, you cannot have this. Oh, this is going to make you fat. And there is this impulse on me to check an every single calorie. I want to control everything. And what I didn't know back there, it's just my internal world. I have so much. I was being through so much that the only way to control all that emotion was to control my own shape, was to look at that calories, was to look I did things that you can, I don't know if can everyone imagine, but even if, for example, the fries or something have too much oil, I will go and clean it and I suck it, and it was everything that it was connected with something that will might make me gain more weight. I panic. I panic. And I have lots of panic attacks. And what I didn't know even back then, that this was ways to my body scream and create a moment of liberation for me. It was an act of love. It was all like a scream. When you have a panic attack, there is a contraction, no? And after the contraction, you have a liberation. It is the accumulation of so many things we hold on for so such a long time that we don't pay attention. And when we think like my body, it's a temple, it's my home, and it have a limited time in the world. Do I want to always be checked with everything, or do I want to be happy and more joyful? And I know it's easy to say it because I've been there too. I've been there too, and any therapy was working, any pill they were having to me. I was so young, and they gave me so much pills that one time even one of the doctors asked me, I don't know how you are still here with the eyes open. I mean, because my mom took me to a more natural therapy, which is my way of doing things nowadays. Anyway, he asked me that. I said, well, it was just my strength. It's just my strength. They even asked me, you were taking the same pills as your father. How is this possible? He's in here like falling asleep and you're still with eyes open. And looking back, it's just looking at that little girl. And even I invite you to do that because for me it was very nourishing. I wake up and I have straight in my bed and in my mirror my little girl. And when I wake up feeling like crap, I look at her and say, for you today, I wake up, and for you today, I will make this day worthy. And for you today, I will give you voice. I will give you love. I will promise I will never, ever leave you again or neglect you. And it did help me. Because every time we said bad words to ourselves, remember, can you say it to a child? And that child is you. And for me, it was everything. And because that mirror before, I avoided for years. I didn't like to look at me. But when I put that picture in there, I say, oh, you are in there. Oh, you are so cute today, even don't having makeup. Look at you. And try to notice the other little things that back then I couldn't see it, and how I can give you love today, even though it can be a sad day and I cry. And that's okay too. It's part of the journey. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I love it how you put this mirror work in, like how you use that mirror work, because for me that's also such a big part of embodiment. Also, like being able to look into the mirror, because yeah, I mean, how old have you been, like when you draw this picture, you said?
You said the one I want to explain to my mama was
Yeah,
13, 14. Yeah, it was before
yeah,
I went hospitalized because I was
yeah,
desperate to show this
yeah.
is what is
Wow.
happening.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. How was it? Can I ask you, how was it for you this time, as so in that time when you were looking in the mirror? What did you see?
It it was it was hard because I just got the reality of thin I was when my mother took me pictures, because the mirror was the reality of my mind. I was looking in the mirror, and it's just I feel like goosebumps. It's just I will use one of my tools. I will take a breath now. I look at the mirror, and it was always like there is something more in there in my belly, and my belly looks like this, or and no, it was always more the belly. I always have complex with the belly, and then when my mother took me a picture, I look at the pictures and I saw my bones literally sticking out. I got shocked. That was when I knew that something was wrong. But I think subconscious, like really deep down, I was creating that thing to myself, to ask help. Like, please take me for this reality I'm living. And looking at the mirror every day was too painful for me. And I don't know if this happened to you, but when when you were hospitalized, it's that you cannot have anyone. You cannot have your family. You cannot see your friends. You cannot have contact with this external world. And here I was, 13 years old, with seeing people with schizophrenia and bipolarity, everything in front of me, not knowing what it was, and me being vulnerable in that very scary place. It was a lot. That's why I have this call in my heart, the not. Oh, I think I have a lot mother mother energy, kind of like protect even like, well, girls, women like me and you, that we've been through a lot, to not go there, because I've been there. And there is a place that you don't want to be, because there is a place, and not every daughter will give you love, not every daughter will be nice to you, but you can give that love to you. You can give the nourish to you. It's really not a place that anyone will like to be. So I'm not trying to be the savior, because we cannot save everyone in the world, but if we can be our own saviors and give that love to us. Everything that was taken from us for stories, relationships, or even through this unsafe environment, family environment, or whatever it is, that we can bring it back to us. And here we are, me and you. Well, we are alive, proof of that. And obviously, maybe I will not say that I will not have moments in the future with struggle with anything, but we might have tools now that we can give to ourselves to nourish, and it feels safe now to feel.
Yes.
It feels more safer.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thanks for sharing this experience. It's really crazy. Like, I never have been hospitalized. So I was not anorexic. I had anorexic traits, which is like more this body image. As you said, like the picture in the mirror is a different picture, like you are. So I did not had as a child or as a teenager this experience. So hearing it from you as well, like I can really much, yeah, I can feel how hard it is also to talk about it or to think back, because I think it's crazy, like, to be honest, like putting a child, and I know there is reasons why you have to be hospitalized, and we can talk about different things we can do, but hearing from you now that you were put into this environment with other people with who has their challenges, it's not really the healing environment where you feel like, okay, now here I feel like, okay, I'm safe. Because you feel like you're broken. You feel more that you are here because you have to be fixed.
Yeah. This is the point. Is that's why I said none of us would like to be in that place. But you know what? I was little, and that little version of me, instead of focus on me, I was coming to all single soul in the hospital. And I was the one bringing the cards, and we are all going to play, and we are, even in this place, create happy moments. And everyone, for now, remember, I still went to the hospital to visit that sometimes the workers are in there. I made this journal, big journal in the wall full of colors because that these places they need colors, and even these doctors they also need help to give this place more color. And I was always trying to bring joy to these people. And actually, I become worse until one day a girl come to me and she give the hand and say, "You are saving everyone at this hospital. Everyone is leaving, and you are still in here. You will make me a promise that for this day, you will fight for you because you also deserve it." And she gave me the hand, and I can say that was the month that I left the hospital. After three months I was in there or more. I don't remember very well. Because at that moment I made the choice for me to do so. Because this is the thing. I think maybe you relate and maybe people relate. When we went through a lot, yeah, we feel like we need to fix ourselves. But then we think that we are the savers and we try to fix everyone around us. I mean, sometimes they may not be already there. Maybe they already don't want yet. But we want to save everyone. But in reality, we want to save ourselves. We want someone to give us the hand. Well, we need to give it to ourselves, unfortunately. No.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's really like the decision has to come from you. Like you can go to so many therapies, read self-healing books, do any courses, have a coach. You can do so much. If the decision of for the action is not coming from within you, and you're saying like, okay, now I'm gonna do that. Now I'm realizing I have the conscious decision to make to change my life story. You're not gonna heal or change in a sustainable way because it will fire back or backfire again and again. And yeah, that's like, yeah, that's really the powerful moment. Um and I think also these moments where you realize that, so like as you said, like this handshake with this woman, we cannot force this moments to come. Can invite them, like we can say like, okay, I'm inviting these moments, and you can look out and you can see. And this it comes also with the how mindful are you going through life, seeing different things popping up from the universe, maybe divine messages showing you, go this way, go this way, you go that way. And how much can you trust this intuition to go there? And yeah, and for that, again, we need to feel our body. We need to embody, because otherwise we can't trust, we can't listen to our intuition. We're not connected to this body wisdom, and that's why this embodiment is so important. And I would like to go back quickly to what you said with the mirror. Mirror work can be so powerful, and it's also one way really to get back into this self-acceptance, which leads, so I would say like this, there are different stages which leads to self-love. Because when you have this bad body image, you're standing in front of the mirror, really don't liking yourself, don't like what you see. And I had this so many times. I was literally going there and making affirmations, saying like how worse I look, like, or how bad I look, how fat I am, like. And like looking back to pictures now, I feel like, hey, never was in such a shape, you know. And and then to really see, okay, that's my thought. So you use the mirror then to really affirm that you're not good enough if you do that. And then changing this is really hard if you say like, okay, I'm in this place from self-hatred or don't liking myself, negative body image, making this heap jump to body love, to body positivity is very hard, because it's like it's affirming the completely opposite. So there are different stages in between. I used for myself, and I'm working with my clients around, and they're like, okay, so if you imagine you have someone you care about, so let's say your partner, let's say your parents or sibling, someone you really care for, you accept this person as she or he is, and you care for this person because you love this person. So translating this to the self, it's like, okay, accepting I'm accepting what I see. I see myself, which relates so much to what you said before, and that what your inner child needs to hear. Like, I see you. You look into the mirror, and that's so powerful. When you look into the mirror, really looking into your eyes and saying, okay, I see you, I accept you as you are. Maybe touching yourself, really like feeling the shapes, the round shapes of your body, the edges and roundings, and really feeling it. Okay, this is my body, I accept it, and then taking care of this body through nourishing this body with good food, with pleasure things to do, um, with yoga, with going for a run, going to sauna, dancing, whatever feels good for you. And this is the path which leads to this body positivity, to self-love. But the way to this, the way to body love, the way to body positivity has to be made out of stones of self-love. So you can't hate yourself into self-love. You can only love yourself into self-love. And that's something which is, again, like your own decision you can do, because it's the language we talk with ourselves which is leading us in the way where we go.
It is true. Such a beautiful way to say it. Really, I think your inner child is happy now. Just celebrate that, because I really visually, like, even with your biggest smile, you say yay. You can even wiggle a little bit, yay, give a little. My mom says, like, celebrate all the little wins in life, and I think it's looking back and you see how much we've been through. Oh God, maybe there is still a lot that is reserved in the universe as to experience again. No, and try to not prison ourselves or punish ourselves. Like, I need to do this exercise today because I'm punish myself for that chocolate that I ate yesterday, or create as this space, this safe containerness to feel okay, do that. I nourish myself. How I can be more love and compassion about me. And there is this little exercise I love to do many times. It's like it kind of bring this honest side of us. Like, would you be capable to walk on, I don't know, a street full of people, or a place where there is full of people and everyone is looking at you? Even in the beach, since we are coming to summer, we are in our little bikinis, and suddenly there is a lot of people that start to stare at us. Would you be able to walk and still embody your confidence? I think I would just take a second to try to visualize it, just for a minute. Hmm. It feels kind of intimidating. I think now, how you are feeling, that you feel like we are different every day, attention. If you can, you visualize the people looking at you. Maybe you're walking in this beach, you feel the sand on your feet. Maybe you are in a little bikini. Is this still feels a little bit intimidating? And if it is, where it shows up in your body. Maybe if it feels, maybe what you can say to yourself that it feels super nourishing. Because we are not confident every day, we still have our ups and downs, and that's okay too. Just observe. Even when the eyes close, Grace, how you are feeling in your body with these people looking at you?
It's really interesting to observe that. Honestly, me being on Kopangan at the moment, having these beach walks mostly every day, and I know exactly what you said. Like, no, was our days are different. Sometimes we're very confident. Sometimes we are feeling more vulnerable, and obviously, depending on which energy I am, it's more intimidating or not at all. Because there are days where I can just walk it and I'm in my power and I'm standing my woman, I'm owning my body, owning myself. And then there might be days where there can be because I might have not good sleep, or I have a weird tummy, or whatever. I feel not so much in my power. And then I know that I'm probably walking different. And it's a lot about our posture, like how we posture ourselves. Are we open in our chest? Are we allowing our belly to breathe, to open? Or are we closing up and protecting ourselves because we feel intimidated or we feel judged? And so while you were guiding us in this visualization, I definitely realized that when I'm in this more not empowered state or not embodied, I'm closing up. My back is more rounding, my belly is sucking in, and I want to protect myself. Rather, if I have this other energy, I'm very much opening up and really owning myself. And it's really important for me to put this also here, that it's not it's not not wrong to feel different things. It's so normal, in fact, because we are emotional, we are humans, we have emotions, we go with this flow of the emotions, of these inner emotions. And some days are sunny, some days are rainy, but both days are beautiful to live.
It just to maybe feel a little bit our feet on the floor. Our body sometimes shows this organic movement that brings us safety. So let's get ahead and put one hand in the belly, other in the chest, and we just rock a little bit back and forward. When we give ourselves a little repetitive movement, our body starts to be familiar with that. So it starts to be more safe with that. And just take some breathing here as we are little and our mama just giving us a little rocking. We feel the warmth of our hands coming straight to our gorgeous heart. Mm. And just smooth the belly as we are breathing in and out. And if you feel today on this disempowerment day, it's okay too. Just notice and just allow yourself to be as it is. And how it shows up in your body. Maybe it's like grace. You feel your shoulders closing a little bit more. Maybe you just even want to introduce some movement or be a little bit more still. And just feeling the support of your hands on your body. But I'm here. I am here for you. Hmm. I just want you just for a minute. You know, when we have a friend that we want to cheer this person up and say, you are a badass. We can come with million reasons that they are a badass. I just want you to create this moment now to even remember a situation in your life. You are your badass. You, even all you've been through, even for all that painful days, you still show up. You still show up for yourself. And just picture just for a moment. And you know, it might not be confidence, but we want to embody around these people. What do you really want? To be honest? Is it, I don't know, is your sexiness? Is your sensual self? Is your confidence or powerful self? What is it? And then remembering that time that you overcome everything. Mm? And just in each inhalation, you just breathe. Breathe in what you wish to embody to yourself and let yourself recharge with that beautiful energy that lives inside of you. And you breathe into your confidence. Or is your sexiness? I don't know where it is. You know where it is. And you just breathe into it. And remember all the million reasons that you are a badass. Mm. And how even shows up in your body? Are you, I don't know, are you growing more your chest? Are you bringing your shoulders more backwards? Are you creating more openness? And if you are not there yet, then that's okay too. It's just finishing, bringing gratitude to yourself, gratitude for all the days that you're not feeling well and you still show up, or to the days that you allow to you to be, yeah, a little bit less confident, and that's okay. that you always have this space to embody what you wish. And even to bring to your mind someone that touched your heart, someone that says something on that hard days that you needed to hear. And maybe you want to hear that or remember. It could be anything. Now for me, it's showing up like my mama. At sometimes she grabs on me and say, "No, baby girl, we don't go out this way. You can do that. Just feel my energy, feel my warmth. You are stronger than you think. You can do this." Wherever it comes. Hmm. And you bring a little smile to your face. Maybe come a little bit to the sounds around you. Maybe you want to, even with the eyes closed, just bring a little movement to your body wherever it feels to just free itself. Maybe shaking a little bit the hands. Just letting go. Maybe some of the heaviness. Let's just even warm it up a little bit the hands. And just separate them just for a minute. It just to think what you want to put in between them. What do you want to cultivate more today? Is it the confidence? Wherever it is. You just bring it to the top of your head. And you start to bring and touch every part of your body with this new energy, with this energy you want to embody yourself. You just swipe down to earth. And if you want to just your eyes, maybe don't want to close yet, to just gently in your time open up. You can even touch a little bit yourself. Just showing gratitude for this beautiful journey together today. That we are beyond the body, that we are way more than that. And we all deserve to feel joy and freedom. Good. Now, time you can find your way back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is anything up to you that you would like to share before we close it? Some last words.
I think I would really like to thank you here to guide us through this meditation, to this gratitude and embodiment practice. And for me as a coach, I'm very often on the opposite side. where I'm guiding. And it felt so good to really have been in this space, and yeah, just really just letting it wash all over me. Your words, what you said, what I felt, and yeah, this gratitude practice is something really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to call it the badass. Oh, the sometimes we are visualizing we're walking in an amazing place and remember all the people in our lives that touch our hearts and remember that you matter, that you are special, that you are way beyond this body, that you are amazing, just the way you are. I just remember all these situations that you thought you couldn't do it, and yet you aren't there, sparking your magic and coming to this root place that I am safe and I trust my inner wisdom that I have it all. I have it all. And we all have it. There's a million reasons we are special. We forget. We forget. And this is where we are in here. I wanted to really thank you for we went a little bit more longer, but I think it was nice to create these safe containers. It's a completely different podcast. We want to bring more more calm and ease, and that is the beautiful part of the feminine. And even like if you want to even navigate deeper in your journey, like Grace, she has many beautiful offers. I will drop the link in the description where you can see how she offers like one-on-one sessions, workshops, she even organize some events. I think it's nice these interactions, even to women gather together, connect together, and work deep on ourselves. I will drop everything below. I also would like to make invitations, so I would love to the next podcast was a little moon ceremony because Monday is the full moon, and maybe already a lot of things coming up to you in this pod, which is amazing because the full moon illuminates things to us in order to release and transform. So go ahead and even celebrate yourself that you are creating this container to transform it. So I really would like to make these invitations. I also will drop the link down from our both social media if you have any questions, and even if you have any requirements for other posts. We can even do these sessions as mentoring, that we can bring up your questions, even you can send an audio with your questions. Yeah, just feel free to whatever you want to interact. I'm sending so much love for Grace and everyone that is listening. And I really hope to reconnect with you next Friday. So much love.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.